Have you ever woken up and felt like your life wasn't yours anymore? Like somehow you became the background character in your own story. One day you were dreaming big, chasing goals, feeling alive, and the next you're just surviving, existing, wondering where all the momentum went. But here's the twist. Some people, ordinary people, seem to flip their entire life around in just weeks. They go from burnout to breakthrough, from being stuck to soaring, from completely invisible to unmistakable. And you have to ask, what did they do differently? I'll tell you the truth, and it might sting a little. It wasn't luck. It wasn't timing. And it wasn't some secret blueprint only the rich or gifted get access to. It was a moment, a decision, not a preference, not a vague, I'll try, but a cut the cord, no turning back, burn the boats decision. That kind of decision changes everything. You want a transformation? You don't need another year. You don't even need another month. You need 21 days and the courage to say, I'm all in. Now, before I show you how it works and why it works so fast, I need you to do one thing. If you've ever felt like you were made for more, like your life has greater potential than what you're living right now, then pause. Like this video, hit subscribe. Not just because it helps the channel, but because it tells the algorithm and more importantly tells you that you're ready to claim the next version of your life. This isn't entertainment. This is a commitment. Let's talk about decisions, real decisions. See, the word decide comes from the Latin word decidere, which literally means to cut off. When you make a real decision, you cut off every other option. No plan B, no maybe, no safety net. That's why most people don't make them. They hope for better. They wish for success. They like the idea of financial freedom, but the moment it gets uncomfortable, they retreat. And the cycle continues. But you're not most people. You're still here. So let's make this real. Let's create a transformation that doesn't depend on chance or motivation or magic. Let's architect it. Let's build it. And it starts right now with the first brick, the 21-day framework. Now you might be asking, why 21 days? Is that even real? Fair question. For years, people said it takes 21 days to form a habit. Modern science says it's not always that simple. Some habits take longer, some less. But here's the truth. 21 days is long enough to shift your momentum. It's short enough to commit fully without feeling overwhelmed. And it's powerful enough to generate results that make going back to the old you feel impossible. Here's what you need to understand. If you focus with intensity for 3 weeks, not halfway, but full throttle commitment, your identity begins to shift. You'll start thinking differently, speaking differently, showing up differently. That's when the real power kicks in. Because success, it's not some freak accident. It's not a lottery ticket. It's not given, it's built. Most people spend more time planning a weekend getaway than they do designing their life, and then wonder why they feel lost when Monday rolls around. So let me ask you something that might hit hard. If you don't have a plan for your life, whose plan are you living? Because make no mistake, someone has a plan for you. It just doesn't include your dreams. So let's stop drifting. Let's start designing. We're going to break these 21 days into 5 core pillars, and each one is like a superpower. Pillar 1, mindset transformation. Pillar 2, goal setting and strategic planning. Pillar 3, daily disciplines. Pillar 4, environmental design. And pillar 5, accountability and measurement. That's the system, and it works. Now let's zoom in to pillar 1, mindset transformation. Everything begins in the mind. Everything. Before the money, before the business, before the fitness, before the breakthrough, it starts in here. If your mindset is broken, your results will be too. So on day 1 of this journey, I want you to become a student, not of me, but of your own thoughts. Listen to your internal dialogue. Notice the voice that whispers, "You're not good enough. People like you don't succeed. It's too late." That voice, it's not you. It's programming. It's patterns. It's lies, picked up along the way and mistaken for truth. So today, your only job is to observe. No judgment, no fixing, just awareness. Like standing at the door of your mind and saying, not every thought gets to come in anymore. Tomorrow, day 2, we go deeper. We don't just observe limiting beliefs, we break them. We rewrite the script. So make sure you come back for that. Turn on the bell, subscribe. This isn't a passive experience. It's a transformation in real time. Day 3, we don't just break old beliefs, we install new ones. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Tonight, before you sleep, write down the 3 most common negative thoughts that show up in your head. Then, leave space beside each. Because tomorrow, we overwrite them. And that's when things really begin to shift. Remember, repetition creates belief. Belief creates behavior. Behavior creates results. And results, they create your reality. Let's make sure you're building the right one. We're just getting started.
If you've made it this far, that tells me one thing. You're not here to dabble. You're not here for hype. You're here for transformation, and you're willing to go deeper than most people ever will. So let's go. Yesterday, you identified the thoughts that have been running your life. Today, we begin the process of replacing them. Let's be honest. Most of the beliefs you carry about yourself weren't chosen. They were adopted. Maybe someone told you you'd never be successful. Maybe you failed once and decided you weren't capable. Maybe society labeled you, and you agreed. But not anymore. Day 2 is about elimination. Write this down. What I don't confront, I will continue to carry. You've already written down your 3 most limiting beliefs. Now, next to each one, write its antidote, a new belief that empowers you. Example? Limiting, I'm bad with money. Replacement, I'm learning to master my finances and I get better every day. Limiting, I don't have what it takes. Replacement, I have everything I need inside me and I'm unlocking it daily. Don't just write these beliefs, speak them, morning and night. Look in the mirror, say them with conviction, even if it feels fake, even if your voice shakes. Say them until your subconscious starts listening. And when it resists, smile. That's how you know it's working. Your old identity is panicking because you're building a new one. That's progress. And hey, while you're here, take a second and share this video with someone you know needs it. Someone stuck in their own head. Someone ready to break free. Be the reason they change. Now, let's keep going. Day 3, installation. Today, you go from writing new beliefs to living them. This isn't about waiting for belief to feel real. It's about acting like it's already true, because your brain responds to action faster than affirmation. You don't become confident and then take bold action. You take bold action and confidence follows. So take one small step today that proves your new belief is real. If you believe you're becoming financially smart, make a smart financial decision, even if it's just skipping that impulse purchase. If you believe you're becoming healthier, go for a walk. Make a better food choice. Action is the installation process. You don't wait until it feels natural. You do it until it becomes normal. Days 4 through 7, reinforcement. This is where things get real. Most people quit here. Why? Because they're addicted to instant results. They change their mindset for a day, maybe 2, and when the world doesn't transform overnight, they declare it doesn't work. But let me be brutally honest. Your life isn't a microwave dinner. It's a slow-cooked masterpiece. And the work you're doing this week, it's laying the foundation for everything that comes after. So from day 4 to day 7, here's your job. Find evidence, even the tiniest proof that your new beliefs are becoming real. If your new belief is, I take control of my time, and you blocked off 30 minutes to focus, that's evidence. If your new belief is, I'm becoming more confident, and you spoke up in a meeting or looked someone in the eye, that's evidence. Write it down. Celebrate it. Reinforce it. You're not waiting for a miracle. You're building it, brick by brick. Let me pause and ask, if this is hitting you right now, if you feel like this is the kind of system you've been searching for, let the algorithm know. Hit that like button. Leave a comment below. I'm building a new belief system. Let me see you. I read the comments. I respond. This is a community. You're not alone in this. Let's zoom out for a second. You're 1 week in, and while the outside world might not notice yet, you know something's shifting. Your thoughts are sharper. Your awareness is deeper. You're starting to feel something powerful. Momentum. And momentum is everything. Because here's what happens next. With mindset shifting into gear, it's time to aim that power towards a destination. Welcome to Pillar 2, goal setting and strategic planning. Let me ask you something. What do you actually want? Not what your job says, not what your friends expect, not what your parents think is realistic. What do you want? This is day 8, Vision Day. Not vague goals, not I want to be rich someday or I hope to be happy. I'm talking real, visceral, high-definition vision. Imagine the life you want, in detail. Where do you live? What's your morning routine? What work excites you? What do your relationships feel like? Don't hold back. If your dream life doesn't make you nervous, it's not big enough. And don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging here. Comment Vision Map below if you want the free template I use to map out my life every quarter. I'll share it with you. Now, once you've built this crystal clear vision, it's time for day 9, goals. Here's where most people blow it. They write down 20 goals and accomplish none of them. Don't do that. Instead, choose 3 to 5 goals that matter most in the next 90 days. Not easy wins, but goals that, if achieved, would pull you closer to your vision fast. For example, if your vision is time freedom, your 90-day goal might be to launch your first digital product or niche business. If your vision is vibrant health, your 90-day goal might be to lose 10 pounds and stick to a consistent sleep schedule. The key, these goals must require growth. Because the real point of a goal isn't to get something, it's to become someone. Let's keep going. Day 10, strategy. This is where dreamers become doers. You don't need a 50-step action plan, just figure out the critical moves. The 2 to 3 key actions that, if done consistently, will drive 80% of the result. Let's say your goal is to gain 10,000 followers on your niche channel. Your critical moves: post 3 times per week with optimized storytelling hooks, spend 30 minutes a day engaging with your audience, analyze your top-performing videos, and double down. That's it. Strategy isn't about complexity, it's about clarity. And speaking of clarity, if you're gaining value from this breakdown so far, make sure you turn on the bell, because part 3, we're about to build your implementation plan, the daily schedule that bridges the gap between your goals and your reality. And I'll show you the biggest mistake 90% of people make when planning their life and how to avoid it forever.
All right, you've done the vision work. You've set goals that actually mean something. Now it's time for the step that separates the wishful thinkers from the unstoppable creators. Day 11, Implementation Planning. This is where most people fall apart. They've got vision boards, affirmations, big goals, but their day-to-day, a chaotic mess of to-do lists, distractions, and I'll get to it later. Let me be blunt. You can't build a legendary life on a sloppy schedule. Success loves structure. So today, we turn your strategy into a calendar. Take those critical moves you wrote down and plug them into your actual week. Ask yourself, when exactly will I take action on each step? What time of day? For how long? Don't guess, schedule it. Because what gets scheduled gets done. This is your bridge from intention to action. And hey, if this part feels overwhelming, I've got your back. Drop a comment below with planning power, and I'll send you a free weekly time blocking template I personally use to organize my goals, content, and deep work time. Now let's talk about a secret weapon most people never use. Day 12, Morning Rituals. Listen closely. If you win the first hour, you win the day. Why? Because how you start sets the tone for everything that follows. You roll out of bed, scroll your phone, hit snooze 5 times, you're already playing defense. But if you wake up and own your morning, even for 20 to 30 minutes, you become unstoppable. I'm not here to sell you some cookie-cutter miracle routine. You don't need to wake up at 4:30 a.m. and drink yak butter tea while doing handstands, but you do need a routine that primes your body, mind, and spirit for execution. Mine? 10 minutes of movement, 10 minutes of silence or prayer, 10 minutes of review, goals, intentions, and my #1 priority of the day. Find what works for you. Then protect that time like your life depends on it, because in a way, it does. And before we move on, if your morning routine is already dialed in, drop it in the comments. Let's share what works. Let's build each other up. That's what this community is all about. Now, let's go deeper, because this next part, this is what sustains your energy through the grind. Day 13, Energy Management. Forget time management for a second. You could have 10 free hours a day, but if you feel exhausted, distracted, drained, those hours are useless. So let me ask, what's draining you right now? Which tasks, people, or habits suck the life out of you? And on the flip side, what recharges you? This week, I want you to create your energy audit. Step 1, make a list of your top 3 energy drains. Step 2, make a list of your top 3 energy chargers. Then, here's the key. Create a plan to reduce the drains and maximize the chargers every day. This isn't fluff. Energy is your most limited resource. Guard it, build it, fight for it. Day 14, Time Blocking. If energy is what you bring to your day, time blocking is how you bring it. Here's the problem most high-potential people have. They let their calendar happen to them. Instead of owning their time, they react to everyone else's priorities. Emails, messages, random meetings, crisis mode. But high performers, they block their time in advance. Work, health, family, learning, recovery. Everything that matters gets protected. So here's your assignment today. Open your calendar, digital or paper, and block your ideal week. Not some fantasy perfect schedule, a real, achievable week that reflects your true values. Include work blocks, focus blocks or deep work, fitness and health, connection time, family or friends, learning or self-improvement, rest and reset time. This one habit, just this, will change everything. And listen, I know this feels like a lot. Most people never even look at their calendar beyond today. But you're not most people. You're building something that lasts. So stay with me, because day 15,
It's about clearing out the clutter that's been slowing you down more than you realize. Eliminating distractions. Distraction is the silent killer of success. It doesn't destroy your dreams all at once. It eats away at them, one scroll, one notification, one open tab at a time. So today, I want you to identify your top 3 distractions. Maybe it's mindless social media, endless email refreshes, background noise, unfocused multitasking, toxic conversations. Then write down one concrete action for each that will reduce or eliminate it. Examples: turn off all non-essential notifications. Use Do Not Disturb hours every morning. Limit social media to 30 minutes daily using app timers. Have a direct conversation with someone draining your focus. Here's the rule: one distraction removed is one level up unlocked. And by the way, I love hearing how you do this. So if you've kicked a major distraction to the curb, drop it in the comments. Let's celebrate it. Let's normalize discipline. Because this isn't just about productivity. It's about becoming someone who protects their potential at all costs. And before we wrap this part up, let me leave you with this thought. Structure doesn't limit your freedom. It creates it. Freedom isn't the absence of responsibility. It's the presence of control over what matters most. So when you own your plan, your energy, your time, and your focus, you don't become rigid. You become dangerous in the best possible way.
Let's cut straight to the truth. You can have the best goals in the world, the sharpest mindset, a bulletproof plan. But if your environment doesn't support your growth, you're climbing uphill every single day. You can't plant a palm tree in the Arctic and expect it to thrive. Success requires an ecosystem, and you're about to build one. Welcome to Pillar 4, Environmental Design. This pillar doesn't get enough love, but it's the secret weapon of high performers. Because whether you realize it or not, your environment is shaping your behavior, your decisions, and your identity. Day 16, Physical Environment. Look around. Is your space designed for distraction or for execution? Does it reflect chaos or clarity? Today's mission is simple. Reset your space. Wherever you spend the most time, your home, office, car, digital workspace, it's time for a full audit. Start with this checklist. Clear visual clutter. Remove items that don't serve your current season. Add visual anchors, your goals, affirmations, vision board. Create a designated focus zone, one place where you do your deep work, no exceptions. You don't need to spend money. You just need to make your space intentional. Here's why this matters. Your brain takes cues from your surroundings. If your space is scattered, your mind will be too. But if your space screams clarity, purpose, and discipline, guess what starts happening in your decisions? Exactly. If you're feeling this, pause for a second. Hit like. It helps push this kind of content to more people who need it. And it tells me to keep creating resources that go deeper than the surface. Now let's talk about something even more powerful and harder to face. Day 17. Social environment. You've heard this before. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, it's true. But I'll take it a step further. Your results are a reflection of your relationships. So let's get painfully honest. Ask yourself, who do I talk to most often? Are they growth-oriented or stuck in the past? Do they challenge me or comfort my mediocrity? Do they push me higher or pull me back? Now I get it. This is hard. You can love people without letting their mindset infect yours. You can respect your past without dragging it into your future. So today, I'm not asking you to cut everyone off, but I am asking you to upgrade your inner circle, even if that means starting with voices online. Find podcasts, creators, books, communities, people who reflect the version of you that you're becoming. Surround yourself with excellence until it becomes your new normal. And if you're looking for a place to start, this is it. Drop "level up" in the comments if you're committed to elevating your circle. Let's find each other. Let's grow together. Now, one more environmental force to conquer. Day 18, informational environment. What's entering your mind every single day? Because whether you know it or not, you're being programmed. The scroll, the headlines, the opinions, the subtle pessimism, the everyone's struggling narrative. It's all shaping you. So today's challenge is this: audit your inputs ruthlessly. Step 1, make a list of your top 5 information sources: social media accounts, podcasts, YouTube channels, books, news, anything you consume frequently. Step 2, for each, ask: does this content inspire me or drain me? Does it teach me something useful or just fill the silence? Is it aligned with my values and future or keeping me stuck in cycles? Step 3, replace low-quality input with high-quality, empowering content. Need a rule of thumb? If it doesn't make you feel stronger, smarter, or more focused, cut it. You are not obligated to consume anything that costs you peace or purpose. Here's a tip. Create a growth playlist. Fill it with videos, books, audios that rewire your thinking. Play it while you drive, walk, cook. Retrain your mind in the background. This one shift alone could change your entire trajectory. Let me give you a hard truth. You are what you consume. Your thoughts are echoes of your inputs. So make sure what's echoing is excellence. At this point in the journey, you've taken control of your thoughts, your goals, your habits, your environment. You've done what 99% of people never do. You've stopped waiting for change and started engineering it. Now we arrive at Pillar 5, accountability and measurement. This is what locks everything in place. In Part 5, I'll show you how to set up simple accountability systems that actually work, how to track progress without obsessing over perfection, and how to create a review system that guarantees growth every month. But before we go there, let me ask you a question. What's been your biggest insight so far? Drop it in the comments, seriously. Writing it makes it real and helps someone else learn too. And if you're ready to solidify all of this, to build a system that keeps you accountable even when motivation fades,
You've done the hard work. You've reshaped your thoughts. You've locked in discipline. You've redesigned your environment. But now comes the part most people underestimate. And because of that, most people fail. Accountability. Measurement. 2 words that don't sound sexy, but they are the secret weapon of every top performer on the planet. Because listen, motivation fades, habits slip, life happens. But systems don't lie. Systems hold you to a higher standard when your emotions try to drag you lower. And if you're serious about becoming unrecognizable in 21 days, this part right here, this is the glue that makes it all stick. Before we dive into it, if this series has pushed you further than any other, hit that like button right now. Not just for the algorithm, for the accountability. Let it be a small action that says, I'm still in, I'm not going anywhere. Now, let's build the mechanisms of mastery. Day 19. Establish accountability. Let me be clear. If you don't tell anyone about your goals, if no one knows what you're doing, you're giving yourself permission to quit. So today, you choose your accountability partner. This is not someone who's going to baby you. This is someone who believes in your potential but won't let you get away with your excuses. It might be a close friend, a mentor, a coach, or even an online group. Your job today is to tell them exactly what you're committing to for the next 3 weeks. Not just what your goals are, but what actions you're taking and when you'll check in. Example, I'm committing to 21 days of daily workouts, 7 a.m. journaling, and publishing content 3 times a week. Can we check in every Friday to track my progress? You just went from private pressure to public declaration. And when you do that, your mind says, we're serious now. Because you're not just letting yourself down, you're answering to someone else. That's powerful. Day 20. Build a measurement system. You can't improve what you don't measure. Today, you're going to build a simple tracking system. Not fancy, not complicated, just consistent. Choose your format: a spreadsheet, a whiteboard, a printed tracker, an app like Habitica, Notion, or Streaks, even a notebook and pen. Track the things that matter: your core goals, your key daily habits, your energy, your effort. But here's the key: do it every single day. No excuses, no skipping. You want to see your wins. You want to see your gaps. You want to look back after 21 days and say, that's the proof of who I've become. And trust me, the act of tracking alone will change you, because it keeps you conscious, it keeps you honest. When you're not measuring, you're just guessing. And guess what? Most people guess wrong. You won't be one of them. Day 21. Review and recalibrate. You made it. 3 weeks, thousands of small decisions, a new rhythm, a new mindset, a new level of clarity. But this day, this one right here, may be the most important of all, because it's where you step back, reflect, and refine. Ask yourself, what worked exceptionally well? What didn't go as planned? What habits stuck effortlessly, and which ones felt forced? Where did I surprise myself? Where did I hold back? Write it all down. Then ask the big question: what's next? This is the turning point where a 21-day experiment becomes a 90-day strategy, a 1-year plan, a lifestyle. You take the lessons, double down on what worked, tweak what didn't, and most importantly, keep going. You didn't come this far just to come this far. You didn't build all this momentum just to coast now. You recalibrate, you reset, you reach higher. Because now you're not a beginner. You're not stuck. You're not unclear. You are activated. You are aligned. You are dangerous. And you know what's amazing? You did it without a dramatic event. No lottery win, no miracle, no savior. Just you showing up consistently, intentionally, quietly. And now you're loud. Your habits speak louder than your words. Your results speak louder than your excuses. Your identity is louder than your old limitations. So where do you go from here? That's what we'll cover in the next part, the compound effect that kicks in when you stop starting over and start stacking wins for the long haul. We'll talk about how small, invisible actions done daily create transformations that make your old life look like a distant memory. But before we go there, take this moment. Look back on who you were 21 days ago. Then ask yourself, am I ever going back? If the answer is no, type it in the comments right now. One word: never. Because the old you didn't have a system. The old you didn't have a standard. The old you didn't have a future like this one. Let's solidify the foundation and prepare for exponential growth.
You've completed the 21 days. You've built new habits, rewired your mindset, realigned your environment, locked in your strategy, and installed accountability. But let me tell you a secret. You're still at the very beginning. Because transformation doesn't happen in a flash of lightning. It happens in whispers, in the tiny, daily, almost invisible choices. This is the power of the compound effect. It's simple. It's not sexy. And that's exactly why it works. Here's how it breaks down. Small, smart choices plus consistency plus time equals radical transformation. Let me give you a wild truth. If you get just 1% better every day for a year, not 50%, not 20%, just 1%, you won't be 365% better. You'll be 3,700% better. Why? Because of compounding. Improvement stacks. Progress accelerates. Momentum multiplies. But the same is true on the dark side. Small, poor choices plus consistency plus time equals disaster. Skip the workout just for today. Scroll for an hour just to decompress. Eat the junk food just this once. It seems harmless until one day you look up and you're nowhere near where you wanted to be. Because the things that destroy us don't announce themselves. They drip, they rot, they erode silently. That's why the 21-day plan is just the start. It's your setup for the system. It creates habits that take over when motivation dies. And motivation will die. So let's talk about the 3 enemies that will try to sabotage everything you've built. Enemy number 1, doubt. Doubt is sneaky. It doesn't scream, it whispers. You're not cut out for this. You've tried before. Nothing worked. You're too behind. It's too late. But doubt is a liar. And here's how you kill it. With evidence. Every time you complete a goal, every time you follow through on a habit, every time you say no to your old self, that's evidence. It doesn't have to be massive. One smart decision a day. One time you didn't give in. One win. One brick. Build your wall one brick at a time until doubt can't find a crack. Enemy number 2, impatience. This one is brutal in the world we live in. We're wired for dopamine hits. Instant likes, instant replies, instant everything. But meaningful growth doesn't show up fast. It brews beneath the surface. You'll have weeks where nothing seems to change, where your bank account looks the same, where your body doesn't feel different, where your business hasn't grown, where nobody's noticing the work. But that's when you lean in. That's when you say, I'm not doing this for results today. I'm doing this to become the person who wins every day, no matter what. You water the roots. Even when you don't see fruit, you trust the process, because the process, if honored, will never betray you. Enemy number 3, inconsistency. This is the killer of momentum. It's the trap most fall into. They start strong. They buy the journal. They follow the plan. They even get some wins. But then they miss one day, then 2, then a week. And before they know it, they're back to square one with even more guilt. But here's the truth. Missing once doesn't kill your streak. Quitting does. So what do you do when you mess up? You don't start over. You restart immediately. No guilt, no drama, no shame. You just say, I'm back, and you act like it. One of the most powerful identities you can take on is I always come back. Not I never mess up. Not I'm perfect. But I don't stay down, ever. That's how you win long term. And if you're still here, watching, reading, absorbing, that tells me something about you. You're not in this for hype. You're in this to become. So let me ask you something. What would your life look like if you made 1% improvement every day for the next 6 months? How would you speak? How would you walk? What would your bank account say? What would your energy be like? What would people see in you? That's not a fantasy. It's math. It's consistency. It's the compound effect. And it's yours if you choose it. Let me tell you what's even more exciting.
You now have the blueprint. This video isn't just information. It's a living system for change. If you run it once, you'll evolve. If you repeat it, you'll rise. If you teach it, you'll transform others too. You're now in the 1%, not because of money or fame or followers, but because you've done what most never will. You chose yourself. You chose to face your patterns, to confront your environment, to say, I'm responsible for this life, and I'm not waiting anymore. That is power. And that power, you can use it to build anything. Your business, your health, your art, your voice, your legacy. So in part 7, I'll give you the ultimate success formula, the legacy question that resets your soul, and how to take these 21 days and create a lifetime of exponential growth.
Take a deep breath. You've made it. Not just to the end of a video series, but to the edge of a new identity. This is the chapter where it all comes together, where the 21 days you just lived don't just become a memory, but a movement inside you. Let's start here. Why did you really start this? Was it to finally take control of your habits? To stop waking up tired of your own excuses? To break free from the cycle of almosts and maybes? Whatever your reason, you chose this path. And that means one thing. You're ready to lead your life, not follow it. So let's seal this with the ultimate success formula. It's not complicated, but it's powerful. And if you live by it, success, real, lasting success, becomes inevitable. Step 1. Decide what you want. Crystal clear. No fluff, no vague dreams. Be specific, be bold, be unreasonable if you must. Because the universe doesn't respond to confusion. It responds to clarity, backed by conviction. Step 2. Take massive action. Not small, scared, tiptoeing action. Massive action. More than what others expect. More than what feels comfortable. Success responds to volume, not hesitation. You don't dip a toe in the water. You cannonball into your destiny. Step 3. Notice what's working and what's not. Don't lie to yourself. Don't cling to broken plans. Your honesty is your edge. Look at the data. Look at the feedback. Look at your results. If it's not working, shift fast. Step 4. Change your approach until you succeed. This is where 99% of people tap out. They take one path, it doesn't work, so they declare, I guess I wasn't meant for this. But pros, they tweak, they pivot, they rewire. They stay fixed on the outcome, but flexible in their methods. And if you do this formula consistently, if you refuse to quit, failure becomes mathematically impossible. Let that hit for a second, because that's real power. But now, I want to take you deeper. Beyond goals, beyond plans, beyond even your 1% improvements. Let's talk about legacy. Yes, you heard me right, legacy. The echo of your life. The imprint you leave on others. The story people tell because you lived. Most people never think about this. They think legacy is for celebrities, billionaires, or historical figures. But they're wrong. Legacy is for anyone brave enough to live on purpose. So let me ask you, when it's all said and done, what do you want your life to stand for? What do you want people to say when they talk about you? What ripple do you want to leave behind? Because once you answer that, your priorities change. You stop chasing trends. You stop craving validation. You stop playing small.
You build your days around impact, not impulse. You wake up with clarity. You fall asleep with peace. And every decision, from your morning habits to your career moves, becomes part of a bigger narrative. One that matters. One that lasts. And that's why this 21-day journey was never just about self-improvement. It was about becoming someone who multiplies improvement in yourself, in others, and in the world. So now that you've seen what's possible in 21 days, what if you kept going? Not perfectly, but consistently. 21 days becomes 42. 42 becomes 90. 90 becomes a lifestyle. And that lifestyle becomes your legacy. Here's how you do it. Celebrate your progress. Acknowledge what you did right. You showed up. You followed through. That matters. Refine your foundation. What worked? What didn't? Tweak it, improve it, sharpen it. Set a new challenge. Pick a new focus, maybe business growth, deeper relationships, physical mastery, or creative output. Apply the 21-day model again. Teach it to someone else. Mentor a friend. Share it with your partner. Start a community around it. When you teach, you transform. Because you stop living in the change, and you start living as the change. And finally, never forget this. Success is not a place you arrive. It's a person you become. It's not the mansion, the 6 figures, or the 6-pack. It's waking up every day and knowing I'm becoming more. I'm living aligned. I'm choosing growth even when it's hard. That's the life most people only dream of. But it's real. It's available. And you're already living it. So as we close, I'll leave you with one last message. A message from your future self. Thank you. Thank you for choosing discomfort over delay. Thank you for protecting your vision. Thank you for taking the first step when no one was clapping. Because of what you started in those 21 days, I became someone I'm proud to be. The journey continues, but this chapter, this foundation, it's yours, and no one can take it from you. So now I turn it to you. What will you do next? Leave a comment, share this video, send it to someone who's ready for their day 1. Or better yet, start round 2. New goals, new vision, new version of you. Let's build it, again, and again, and again. Because now you know the truth. You don't need more time. You don't need better circumstances. You just need the courage to commit for 21 days. And that, you've already proven you have. Your new life is waiting. Let's go get it. Powerful man.